Well, I believe the stream starts, so welcome back everyone. Um, the last few days I didn't stream because I was working on the save and loading files and fixing some bugs that's related to the stuff, and so far I made, and every time I find an error in these pages I just fix it, or something that I'm not happy with. And for example, this page I discovered this is kind of like, I made this before I developed this thing, the actions. I was like, let's add the actions like these and let's the engine take care of the rest. And after thinking about it and baking it and doing a lot of stuff, look at this shit. 2 diamond tabs. Yep, the small box became 2 diamond tabs all of a sudden. So we don't need this anymore, for example, and we can fix the face of this page soon. So I was doing some of the stuff. I didn't want to delete this. I don't know why, because I wasn't sure if maybe I should replace it with something else or whatever. And all of a sudden, while I was working on the save and the load and making some random tests instead of unit tests, fully testing the thing, I tested each part alone if it can be saved and load, and it was working. And I was like, okay, let's just throw some random tests. And all of a sudden, while I was doing some of them, the acts, no, act 2, yeah, I was working on act 2, and I add an object, and because the act 2, oh yeah, it is here, it's a little bit complicated. You have action condition that has hash set of actions and a dictionary of result animations, and the result animations have a dictionary of one side, so one side result, which is this one. So this one has this one, and this one has this one, and this one has these. So it's kind of composite objects. I can show you the code as well. I was working on it for years now. So this one has this one, and this one. So you get the point, hopefully. Where's the damn thing? Has this one and this one, and this one was a struct, but because struct are immutable, so you cannot reference them and change them. You can make them reference, even though you can send a pointer as a reference, but I don't think that will work either. But when you use a dictionary for each key and you point to this object as a struct, it will screw up. It won't let you change it. And this one was a struct too, and I changed it. So because it's composite, whenever I made an object of this one, I don't have the data for this one, because so I will just make an empty object of this one with an empty dictionary in here, and then I will fill it with data. It's much easier than to create all the data together in one code. So I could do that actually. This is one of the solutions for the missing data, but it will be much difficult. I need to make a lot of temporary data, and I don't know. I just didn't do it in that way. Maybe it's actually easier than what am I going to do. So I clicked on save and it crashed, and I was like looking at it with sad eyes. I was like, yeah, Actually, I figured out that would be a problem when I was working on the formulas. I was streaming on Live Code TV at that time. That's why I made the object tracker. And I didn't finish the object tracker because I was like, let me finish this after I finish everything. So, oh wow, I forgot to start the timers for the freaking 1 million time. So let's start the timer. As you can see, I'm not in a good mood for program yet, even though I haven't programmed for 2 days actually, because I'm stuck with this problem. I mean, I have at least 3 ideas of how to solve it, and I just came up with a fourth one to change the way how I add a particle data. But actually, the fourth one will be troublesome because when do I want to add the complete objects? At the first site that I add one of these. So my first solution that I made like 4 months ago, which I didn't complete, which it's better to actually finish it. Yeah, I don't have any save file anymore. I delete all of them after I corrupted the last one by adding partial data. So let's make a new game file. So we need to add some sprite. I wonder, will it accept adding only one sprite? Because this one is still living on array. It's still the same design that I made since 2007, when the whole system was made for RPG game only. I haven't added these to the save file yet. I don't think so, because I didn't program or dealt with them yet. This one I won't program in the first game. I would completely ignore it. This will change the default size of the blocks from the blocks, and later on from the objects. Actually, it is now from the objects, but I'm going to change the objects, how they behave and work. Game file. I apologize if I'm a little bit confused. Why cannot I wonder what happened if I load a map now. Um, I haven't done that for years. And you cannot see a shit. And this thing is not loading. So even though we have a block sprite, so let's add more. Maybe he get cancelled the thing. Yeah, I haven't added any map for more than 4 months for now. Since before the skill system worked, and I stopped working on, actually way long time ago, I didn't work on since zooming or something like 6 or 8 months ago. It's kind of sad, it's quite sad, seriously. So we got a problem in here, and apparently, ah, apparently he added empty images as a placeholder when we saved none images in here. And when I tried to add one, he added the 15 ones because he didn't replace the empty one. So, congratulations. Yeah, I didn't deal with this problem yet. for obvious reason that I didn't figure out what I will do in the future. The thing is, the way how the map is designed has a limit how many blocks sheet you have, or sprite sheets, and there are 15. Okay, focus a little bit, will you? Oh, of course, we don't have a file anymore. So let's try to see a map. I missed that. I really missed seeing a map moving in the system. It has been way too long. Actually, not this one. Why he doesn't delete? Oh, because you cannot delete in a block speed, because I said I will do that later as well. Silly me, just silly me. So this thing is not that good, not that good. Because I'm not sure if I'm going to keep the system as it is or not. Anyhow, let's add objects. The interesting part, when I load the map, nothing showed. So I'm going to figure out what's going on. What's the difference between this and this? Oh, the size. Um, as you can see, I'm just fooling around. If you ask me from where did I get all of this crap, I'll tell you how I forgot. Most of the backgrounds is just random stuff from the internet, maybe. Some things that I shouldn't use even for sure for YouTube, so I don't get, yeah, you know, the problem of whatever they called fair use. So let's save this. And it doesn't load the block splashes. Not even the items. Wonder what's wrong. Ah, alright. Because we created a game but we didn't load it? Is that the reason? That's the silliest reason ever. So, let's load a map. I haven't done that for years. And I never showed that in YouTube yet. So this is the first time that I showed a map editor in YouTube. I changed how the stuff works before. All the sprites in here are saved inside the map itself before I make the game file thing. And if you watched me in LiveCode TV before, you will see that. So the minimap doesn't work anymore because he tries to load the assets from the map itself. And this should be a very quick fixed, but as you can see, I'm busy with other stuff. Man, yeah. I can make a demo for the map now on the old engine version 2. I can do that. But the problem with this map simulator still cannot add script to the objects. It's kind of sad. The old Map Simulator 1, which was made in Visual Studio, Visual Basic 2005 or something, in 2007, have the capability of programming these objects and add script to them, but not this one. And this one I'm still working on it, as you can see. I made it from the ground up. Um, this is where you can add creatures, the prototype, and I believe I didn't finish it either, because I'm going to add some stuff to the prototype, the size and the stuff and everything. Oh my god, a lot of damn work. A lot of damn work. So as you can see the background, the gray color, and in the game data I need to add a transparent color, so it removes this gray, and it should depends on the game itself. So yeah, so what is the tracker? Whenever you select something, it will tell you, or supposedly it should tell you, whoever is using this. So if we go to the creature, for example, sprite, and make a new creature, maybe, yeah, let's add factions. Why does it have about me? Delete it. Later on, yeah, I didn't make it save descriptions in the description key. I should add that and make it load too. And let's give it a fire detection or damage collision. Not damage detection collision. I called it fire collision. And let's make it a little bit higher, or smaller in height, sorry. So fire, he can avoid some fire if it came below its feet or something. And add. So we have Walker now, and when we go to the sprite and I click on the sprite and go to the object tracker, it should tell me that there is an AP using this. I wonder why he didn't say that. Maybe I didn't program that part yet too. I worked a little bit on the tracker. So let's add some animation to Walker. And return to the view. And the play button for some reason is not working anymore for the temporary data in here, nor the scroll bar, even though I told him, hey, I have 4 frames, and he doesn't give me a shit. So you must add it, then it will work, and I need to deal with this. So now we have an animation, and maybe I done it like that, I don't know, I have no clue. For example, if I select an empty AP later on, so if you go to the object tracker, it should tell me aim is living in or used by the AP. It seems I didn't finish any of this, but maybe some of the skills works in here. I forgot how to do the skill stuff, so I will save you from that. It will be good to test the saving functionality if this working is still working or not, but it shouldn't be affected. So as you can see, we still have Walker, and we still have the animation of aim. So it's save and load, and it should save and load for all of these guys. But what happened if I click on Walker, add an equipment, but I didn't add the layer type, and click on save change, it will crash and it will corrupt my file. That's why I'm not going to do that, and we need to deal with it. So as I said, we have several ways to solve this, and I'm not happy with any of them. God, but I have to do it. I have been procrastinating this for too long, for 2 days actually, and half, and I need to start somewhere. So let's start. I decided I'm going to do a fast hack. Just finish the damn thing and keep on, because there are tons of things to do before the game can work. There are tons and tons and tons of things, and this is the first game. So the first game, I'm sure I will see a lot of troubles, and it might scoot up, and I might sell it for very low, then make the golden edition or whatever. I don't know, but this is the first game, and it will take a load of work. And to be honest, I'm getting tired working on this section, the animation section, and I'm not done yet. This is South Park. I'm not done yet. I haven't played with these yet. I didn't even start the GUI design for this yet. So I'm not done. I'm not far from done. This God. And after that, after all of this crap, I need to make the map capable of adding start point for the player, for the maps themselves, and a way to intro them, like the player, how he entered the map, like he coming from out of the edge and walking to the edge, or dropping from an airplane or whatever, just like a small cutscene. And this one, the recursive one to add to all sides, I didn't program it yet. So there are, and the save and delete, all of these guys, they are not done our work yet. So we have few things that we need to deal with. And I cannot work on the game or start the game project and connect it with the game engine, and work on save and load on the game engine to support all the new crap before I finish this part at least. Then I will consider working on fire and the attack, maybe the objects later on. I would just completely ignore the objects for now, even though the placeholder for objects is working. But the fire detection system, it will need to die. It needs a different one, and I need to make more complex type of fires. So as you can see, I'm procrastinating again instead of dealing with the code. So let's go here because I kinda too lazy to check what's the objects that deal with the equipment. So this one will live inside the AP, the animated particle here. So what we need to do is to check if any of these equipments are missing the accepted type. So we go to the code in here and go to the missing data, and da 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 da. Oh my god, don't you love this crap? You need to make both checks for creatures and weapons because both of them are considered um, AP. So, either to duplicate the code twice or make a subfunction for it. So let's complete one of these and cry a little bit, and then it's in a class, it's not in the objects. Actually, yeah. So this one is actually a list. Dang it. Um, yeah, I changed how things works. Dang it. Um, Even though in the game engine, I told myself in the game engine I will turn them into dictionaries. This one was a dictionary actually, but I changed my mind and made it into a list for some reason. So I don't make it. I make it easier to parse, I believe, or something. But the thing is, we need faster access to them, and accessing a dictionary is much faster. So, God, I might return and make it into yeah, as you can see. I'm sorry, I'm confused a little bit. uh um where am I? I need to focus a little bit. um yeah. So let's see. Let's see now. So we are traversing inside the quips of the creature, and mhm, we need to check if any of those doesn't have accepted layer tabs. So in here, we will return the function with a value. This value is actually, so what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I'm going to make another function that deal with the missing data. And the way how am I going to deal with it is to ask the user and tell him there are some missing data. Actually, let's give it the position. The problem is it will find more positions, of course. So this function will check if there's any missing data. If it finds even one, it will trigger the missing data dealer and will tell you the user, we found some missing data. The first one is in the creature equipment, and maybe actually I will even make it bigger message. Yeah, I will work on that and make it a bigger message in a few minutes. Do you want to delete them or do you want to cancel the saving? So if the user said cancel, it won't save. It will just cancel the saving, cancel the closing the windows, and keep the user on the page. If the user says yes, it will delete all missing data. So let's see. So let's take this guy. And we can send the whole string. Um, so this is the message where the missing data has been found, and this guy will make a message box and add this sentence. Then it will add another sentence. Do you want to delete all the missing data to presume the saving, or do you want to maybe that's the sentence is enough. So if the user clicked on cancel, I'll make it okay or cancel, it won't do anything. So it depends on the result it would return here, and depends on the result in here it will return there. So this is the first check for the creature equipment, we can do exactly the same code but for weapons. So in here in equipment, the second issue we have is in the Act 2. The Act 2 has the same problem. We need to check the new action conditions. If it has this, without this, and without this, then it's some missing data. So this is the main guy. We don't care about this, doesn't have this, and doesn't have this, because this guy is the biggest guy who have all of them. So we need to check if this guy is complete or not. So let's return to the equipment code, and I can make a separate function that check both and return both message depends if it is a creature or not, but you know what? Let's just copy the whole thing. One of the earliest design, I was going to save both of them in the list. But things happens. Things happens. I really don't like the way how it's look like, same code with different arrays, but I'm splitting the data for detection, easier detection, more encapsulations. I mean, they both live in a different list for a reason, and it should be a dictionary once again, but I don't know why I changed it to list here. The thing is, I'm sure, definitely sure in the game engine it will be a dictionary. There must be a reason why I changed it here in the list. It might be a silly reason, maybe because it will be faster or less memory or whatever, but it might be a very, very silly reason. Because recently, not recently, but like 6 or 7 or 8 months ago, I checked the data that required for the dictionary, the additional data to make the data structure, and oh my god, it takes very, very the minimum. You cannot make a better heap structure by yourself. There's no way. Especially using the higher level language itself, not the assembly. There's no way you can make more optimized data structure. It's very beautiful. It's very beautiful in many, many ways. I don't know any good reason why do you want to use a list of our data structure if you go into access this data a lot and search for them. Um, the only reason is the order, maybe, if you want them to have indexes and orders for some reason. Like, I don't want to turn this into a dictionary listen or listen, but let me finish the last sentence at least. If you want to relate the objects to the objects beside them, that's the only reason I believe that you can use a list over a dictionary. So now let's start working with the um, acts. Acts, is that the title chapter? The acts. Um, Actually, because we are scrolling over the creatures in here, it won't hurt if we check each creature at a time. And now I don't remember how did I save the whole crap. This is another thing that the eye accessory stuff I might change actually. Dang it. Yeah, I might change that and give accessory size as well, because accessories doesn't have sides. It doesn't have sides, so this one. And that's why it has accessory forms immediately. But the animated particle, we need to know which side we are dealing with. But the accessories themselves show on the animated particle. So it might be a good idea to give the accessory sides to and uniform both objects. So we make this one behave exactly like that one when we treat it as an accessory instead of having a special treatment in here and a special treatment in there. God. Because one of my silly ideas, I want to the graphics uh, drawer, the thing that draw the screen, treat both as the same in the same way, and let's see how that will end. So instead of confusing you by switching the screen like an idiot like now, let's try to solve this issue. This guy. Action condition. One of the most confusing part that I ever made. So action condition, we have several conditions in the action conditions. Uh, to check if it is missing, it has missing part or not. Hmm. So the first one, the action condition cannot be created without the active actions. These ones. These ones must be created to add the action condition. Because the way how you add the action condition is in this page. So it must have a result, it must have a name, it must have the active actions. So the name is the key itself, and it will save this one in here, and it will check if these ones exist or not in other active actions, because they must be unique even though they live in the hash set. But this is, yeah, if you watched me in episode 9 maybe, one of the episodes I was dealing with equality, and I made my own function at the end to solve this, because it seems it's really confusing and tricky to replace a hash set hash code to override the hash code for the equality base inside the dictionary. You see this hash set living inside an object that's living inside the dictionary, and I want to compare this, use this hash set or hash code for that one, and the system, whenever you call the hash code, it doesn't give you a real hash code, it gives you a bucket, and I don't know why is that. So I don't know how to calculate the actual hash code for a certain given object. I believe they done all of that for security, so you cannot screw it up with the memory with other people programs and change some of the stuff in the heaps. So it was confusing enough to make me feel like, do I really want to deal with it? And even if I got it right and screwed up in one of the part, it's not safe in the future. It's really not safe. And it seems that the hashes themselves change depends on the system and other stuff and the platform. And you really don't want to deal with that directly. I mean, playing with that, the bolts and nuts of the system and just of the hash code thing is not safe. So instead of that, I just make my own stupid thing that will check the number of objects inside the hash set and if they exist or not, and that's it. Comparing it based on the string. So instead of wasting more time on that, let's start looking at the result animation. So the first thing we need to check if the result animation doesn't have any object. So let's see. I don't know if the cloud can go to -1, but just to make sure if there's any problem with it. So, and there's a problem with this already, because what if the animation condition is null in the first place? I don't think it will have a count in the first place. So yeah. Um, it depends on how did I create this stuff. So let me add this, remove this. Oops. It does this remove? Yeah, this will remove all of them. Okay, remove all of them. Add this one and go back and check this code. Whenever I add this idiot, it will use the constructor of the action condition, and the constructor of the action condition doesn't. No, it does. You see, it initialize the object, so the object shouldn't be null. So I shouldn't be afraid. I shouldn't be afraid. So sorry for confusing you by jumping between the tabs again. So in this case, we will return a similar message. Actually, let's copy the whole message. Tell this one. So some data has been found in so there you go. So it already has been 50 minutes, but I need an early break for call of the nature, to reply the call of nature, whatever, however you put it. So this is the missing data part 1, and see you after the break.